Okay. I want to welcome you once again for joining us in today's talk show. Even though we're having network problem here and there, at least you have taken it upon yourself to be here today and to honor us. We are very grateful, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much too for having me.
Okay. Okay. Welcome you again. Today, theme girls talk show. We have a prestigious Dr. Nze Abasi Etim, who is a lecturer in Akwa Ibom State University, Nigeria. We are very glad to have you here today, Ma. Welcome once again.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, so I will just continue with the question that we have for you. Uh, okay, the the first question we have for you here is: what is your field of study, and what got you interested in studying this course?
Okay, so thank you so much, H STEM Network. First of all, for inviting me to today's virtual talk show. It's such an exciting experience for me because I'm someone who is very passionate about anything that has to do with STEM, being a beneficiary of the knowledge of STEM. So, to answer your question, I would like to first of all talk a little bit about my educational background, just to get you
Okay.
to understand where I'm coming from. So
Okay.
I started acquiring formal education in the 80s at Academy Primary School in Calabar, which is in Cross River State. But due to the creation of Akwa Ibom State in 1987, I had to relocate to Akwa Ibom State, where I completed my primary education at government primary school, Ikot Tuneku. Thereafter, I went to Cornelia Connelly College for my secondary education and University of Uyo for my first degree, and my postgraduate degrees where I am earned from my Okara University of Agriculture. So one who might begin to wonder why I chose to study animal science or animal physiology. I did this because I love STEM. I had interest in STEM. So now let me tell you how this began. So to discuss about my interest in STEM, I'll first of all talk about my favorite subject. You know, just like every student, we have a favorite subject or subjects in plural.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, ma.
So I started developing more interest in for some subjects over the others. I began to fall in love with science subjects because I was really intrigued by the discoveries and inventions as well as solutions to global problems, which are all made possible through science and technology. So I was amazed by the fact that from human life to everything around us, we can see scientific elements in them. So this really endeared me to science subjects. Um, so while in secondary school, I chose to become a science student. So because I found biology, which was my favorite subject, very interesting, simply because I got to learn about my body, how my body works. So biology was my favorite science subject.
Wow. In
So
secondary
that
school,
was
right?
how, yeah. So that was how I got interested in STEM.
Okay. Thank you. We'd like to know who actually inspired you to go into this field of STEM. Can you hear me, ma?
Much again for that question.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you very well. So thank you so much. Thank you so much again for that question. You know, in the early parts of my life, I didn't have a mentor, I didn't have a role model. So since I didn't have any mentor or role model as at that time, I would say that I drew inspiration from myself. So if I were to rephrase that question, I will ask what inspired me to choose STEM? And the simple response will
Okay.
be my love for biology inspired
Wow.
me to study animal physiology. So because of my love for biology, I decided that on graduation from secondary secondary school that I would study medicine at the university to become a medical doctor. But as circumstances unveiled themselves, I couldn't secure admission to study medicine. So I had to reconsider my career path, but still clinged to biological science. That's how I settled for animal science. And today I'm a doctor, but not a medical doctor. I'm a very happy and
Exactly.
fulfilled doctor of philosophy in animal physiology. So I'm so much enjoying my life as an animal physiologist because I get to enjoy working and researching on animals, as well as imparting knowledge to the next generation of scientists. I believe that by now you might have guessed what my work is, which is a university lecturer. So, as a university lecturer, my work
Yes.
involves teaching, research. I also engage in several community services like volunteering as mentor in various mentoring programs. So, thank you very much. So, if you look at this slide, you will see the third slide, you will see me working with my animals. You can see how happy, how proud I am and excited to work with one of God's beautiful creation, which is animals. That's me with my ram. That was my during my PhD.
Exactly. Yes.
That was during my PhD research, and that's my husband helping me to restrain the animals so I could collect data. So next slide, please. So you can see basically this is my life as a researcher. I love researching on animals. So after conducting my researches, I usually take my research findings to international and local conferences where I get to share my knowledge, the knowledge I've acquired with other people. So can you move to the next slide, please? So you see some of my researches have won several awards in different countries of the world, like United Kingdom, Sri Lanka, India, and Ghana. So the next slide, please. So this is me, and this is my life as a university lecturer. I like teaching. I like imparting knowledge to the next generation of scientists.
Wow, wow,
Next
wow,
slide,
wow.
please. Yeah, yeah. So in addition to teaching and research,
Okay.
I also engage in communities. I also engage in community services. I like mentoring upcoming scientists. So this is me with my mentees in New York, the United States of America. So I mentor students from different countries of the world. So that's me having fun with my mentees in USA.
Wow, that's inspiring, man. Um,
Thank
please,
you
can
so
you tell us
much.
the difficulties or challenges that you have overcome while pursuing this career of yours?
Okay, thank you so much. So I want to believe that if you have looked at those beautiful pictures, you might be tempted to think that my experience as a woman scientist has been so beautiful throughout, but that is not true. It has been a cocktail of various experiences. We have the bad, the good, and the
Exactly.
ugly, So I've faced several challenges, but the great thing is that I've always believed that I've always, by the grace of God, overcome them. So I'm going to list lack of funding. Sorry, let me start with lack of mentorship and role model. Like I mentioned earlier, that in my early life, I didn't have a mentor, I didn't have a role model. So I learned to be self inspired, to draw inspiration from myself until recently when I started having mentors and role models to look up to. So, secondly, I was faced with a lack of funding for my research. So I had to self fund all of my researches from undergraduate to PhD level. Moreover, there was difficulty in balancing work and family, being a woman in STEM, being married at the early stage of my life. I got married while I was still an undergraduate. So and I started having kids early. So I had to balance ties my time, the time between work and family. So whenever I stand up for myself and make it known very clearly that women are not less humans than men, I do this politely and I conduct myself with respect so people can get to regard me seriously when I speak. So basically, in a nutshell, those are the some of the challenges I faced as a woman in STEM, and how I have overcome them.
Oh, that's great. Um, from the previous talk show, we heard most STEM women telling us about women in STEM, that women in STEM are few in numbers. What's your own perspective based on your own field of study? Are there few women in that field too?
Yeah. From my experience, first of all, there are lots of researches or lots of data on the internet which have proven that there are fewer women in STEM compared to males. But from my experience, right from when I was an undergraduate till now that I'm working, I've been fortunate to work with about the same percentage of women to STEM. Right from when I was an undergraduate, we had about the same number of girls in class compared to boys. Till my PhD level, we were four PhD students, two males and two females. And now that I'm working, I think we are about the same percentage in my department. But I know that there are other fields, STEM fields, that have fewer women than men. So I wish that in the nearest future we will have more women engaging or choosing STEM fields. So the percentage will be balanced across the board.
Thank you. I would like you to also share with us. Do you feel any pressure while you were in school by by your friends, maybe the guys in the class and everything like that? Do you feel any pressure?
Yeah, when I was a student, I will say I felt pressure. I felt pressure not because I was a woman. I felt pressure because a lot of students, especially teenagers, feel pressure, not specifically because I was a woman. There are different kinds of pressure, the positive and the negative ones, peer pressure, that's what I mean. But I will say most because of the kind of company that I kept, I only mostly felt positive grades, and I was able to sustain this until I would say my last year in secondary school. I went to all girls school, so I didn't feel any pressure from boys because we never had boys. It was in secondary school I got to study
Okay.
alongside males, but I never felt pressure because I was a woman. I only felt pressure because I was a student, the teenager, like every other student. But because of the company I keep company with people who are studious, ambitious, hardworking. So this inspired me to work harder. But there was a certain time in my life, I think that was my final year in secondary school, where I succumbed a little bit to negative peer pressure. By this I mean, some of the time I could have been studying, we used that time to entertain ourselves. So I saw it almost affected my final year result. So I accepted that quickly. And I corrected that quickly. So I was able to in terms of my academic performance.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
Thank you.
Please, can you share with us how we can increase girls or young women participation in STEM? And is there any scholarship or opportunities that await girls or young women that want to go into STEM?
It's so sad that across many STEM disciplines, data has shown that there are fewer girls or women in STEM than men. So I think one of the ways I would suggest could be where girls or young women could be encouraged to participate in STEM would be to create awareness to not just the girls. I've seen a lot of people embarked on different activities, made good efforts to encourage girls to choose STEM. But I really commend those efforts. But I also suggest that parents also be made to know the benefits of STEM subject, because I know sometimes these girls may want to choose STEM, but they could be influenced by their parents to go against their wish. So we should also create awareness, sensitive awareness sensitize the parents on the importance of STEM, which include learning problem-solving skills, encouraging knowledge application, creativity and innovation. You can see a lot of things. Okay, today we are having a virtual talk show. You're not seeing me in person, and I'm not seeing you in person, but this talk show is going on successfully because of technology. So if you make parents, not just the girls, not only the girls, parents also know that these benefits are acquired through studying STEM, that people that created this innovation as STEMers, I think they will be encouraged to allow their students who have interest in STEM to follow their passion. Okay, so there are several benefits of STEM subjects. So I would say that for teachers should also create fun ways of learning STEM, because some students, see STEM as a very boring subject. They prefer art subject. They think it's more lively because the way it is taught, like literature, you get to act dramas. But those fun ways of learning could also be employed or applied in teaching STEM subjects. We should also encourage hands-on activities. There should be funding for STEM activities like boot camp, debates, and rewarding students that have good performance. So STEM activities should be funded. Okay. Moreover, successful women in STEM should be celebrated. It is not out of place to have celebrate scientists being treated as celebrities. I think that also can encourage girls, young girls, to go into STEM, because in a secular world today, musicians are very popular, fashionistas are very popular, artists are very popular. They are treated as celebrities. I think if that is also done to women in STEM, people that are STEMers, if they are celebrated, it will encourage other upcoming people to choose or develop interest for STEM.
Thank you, ma.
You're
We'd like to
welcome.
know what are the job opportunities that are there for
Okay.
girls that study animal physiology.
Okay, please, before I answer that, I
Okay,
think I forgot to talk about the scholarship opportunities for girls or
okay,
young women pursuing career in STEM. There are several scholarship opportunities available these days, which I didn't know about that during my time. I'm not even sure they existed. We have university-based scholarships, depending on universities that students are applying for. There are some universities that offer scholarship to high flyers, students who make good grades. Apart from that, there are several scholarship websites where students can subscribe to or sign up to receive newsletters to know when there are opportunities available. On the slide, you can see I've mentioned several. We also have another one called a website called Opportunity Circles. We have scholarshipposition.com and several others. So I encourage young girls to subscribe to this website. They will see lots of scholarship opportunities on this website. So thank you so much.
thank you. Okay, to the next question, which is what are the job and career opportunities for girls that are going to the field of animal physiology?
Yeah, there are numerous career opportunities for students who are interested in studying animal science as a whole, in general, or animal physiology particularly. Some could work in Ministry of Agriculture, either state or federal Ministry of Agriculture, government and non-government parastatals or NGOs. We also have researchers in research institutes, higher education institutions, food industries who are animal scientists. Some can go into academia, that is work as either teachers or lecturers. We also have agricultural organizations such as food and agricultural organizations that employ animal scientists. So some can be employed as conservation officers and animal trainers. So there are numerous activities. In Nigeria, I've seen animal scientists work in agricultural banks. So the opportunities are enormous.
Oh, that's great to know. And we'd like to know if will you share with us your greatest achievement as a STEM woman in
Okay.
Nigeria or in Africa? Like,
Yeah, I'll categorize them into three groups. The first one, I would say, my one of my greatest I'm contributing to the continue, not just teaching, and also conducting groundbreaking researches that have solved problems in the area of agriculture and beyond. And some of these researches have won awards. Lastly, I would say one of my greatest achievements is the fact that I have mentored the next generation of scientists. So now a lot of students see me as students. So now I have students who see me as a mentor. So now I have students who see me as a mentor and they are greater than I. So that's it.
Okay, thank you, Ma. Thank you very much. So,
You're welcome.
okay, we all know that Nigeria presently is going through food insecurity, and we are facing a lot of challenge based on that aspect. As an animal physiologist, what uh, what is your contribution to the to solving this kind of problem in this country? Or what do you think is the
Yeah.
possible solution?
Food. Okay. First of all, I think I will start with my contribution. There are several challenges facing Nigerian agricultural sector, which has contributed to food insecurity that we are experiencing in the country. So my suggestion, the recommended solutions will be development of agricultural sector, funding of researches in the area of agriculture, prevention of food waste, researches that have helped in one way or the other to address these challenges. Mostly, my research interest, one of the challenges faced by the livestock industry in Nigeria is the high cost of conventional feed ingredients. So I have dedicated my researches on finding alternative feed ingredients that could be fed to animals, but without affecting their reproductive performance. Because anything that affects reproductive performance of animals brings animal production almost to a standstill. So, through my researches, I have helped to address these problems. My findings have helped to address these problems in one way or the other. So, through teaching and research, I have contributed to addressing food insecurity problem that we are experiencing in Nigeria.
Thank you,
Thank you.
thank you, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I would like you to share what you like. Okay, let us say the what advice do you have for those young girls, young women out there that want to go into the field of STEM?
Okay, so my advice for women aspiring to become leaders in the STEM field, okay, next generation of STEMers will be that they should be flexible in their career choice because I knowing very well that young women interested in STEM may have predetermined field. Like I wanted to become a medical doctor. But from my experience, I would advise that you should be flexible because what you plan to study may not actually be what you become. But as long as you are in any STEM field, you have great opportunities to make positive impact globally.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay. Moreover, I'll advise that young girls who are interested in STEM have the right attitude. You shouldn't be intimidated by men or the demand of STEM education and STEM careers. Every woman aspiring to be in STEM should be confident and resilient. These attributes will help you to make rapid and sustainable progress in your career. Moreover, I'll advise that young girls interested in STEM field should develop soft skills. No matter the field of study that you are, the course that you study in school, also develop soft skills. Okay. Have a
Okay.
mentor, a role model, have a mentor or role model that you look up to, because no man is an island. You need advice, you need motivation, you need inspiration from your mentors and role models. Also, network, belonging to different various networks of positive minded people will influence you in one way or the other, okay, to discover or help you to discover your hidden potentials and achieve your life goals. So in a nutshell, those are my STEM field.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Unziabasi 18. From your profile, we could see that you've achieved a lot of things as a woman. Wow, we are really inspired. And it's not
Thank you
even
so much.
easy based on, in fact, your own cause is very hard for women to go into that kind of field, to like dedicate their time to study it and do research again and go international the way you do. We are very, very impressed. Um, we'd like to know, is there a secret to this achievement? Is there a secret that you have to this your achievement?
I will say, first of all, this wouldn't have been possible because simply I am who I am, or what I am by the grace of God. But that doesn't just happen because I sat back and said I had God. I faced a lot of challenges throughout my course of study in undergraduate years. I was partially sponsoring myself. Female child so I can get a degree. So it involves a lot of hard work, resilience, determination. Okay. So those are my secret to success. I believe there is no substitute for hard work.
Um, wow, wow. Um, I guess young girls from out there will learn from you that whatever you want to do in life, you just need to put your mind, be hardworking, and go straight for it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Unzaba Seitim. We are very glad to have you here. STEM Girls Initiative, Aid Network appreciate you for coming here today, for honoring our invitation. We hope to have you next time again, probably on another talk show.
Thank
Thank you very much.
thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, bye
Yeah.
bye.
Bye.